Hello, Michael here with Success for Others, and today I want to talk about the 5 reasons why people buy. I mean, at the end of the day, being in the HVAC industry, whether you're a service technician, a comfort advisor, a CSR, an owner, I mean, we got to understand why is it that our customers choose to invest money in us and our services that we provide for them. So, let's just review. There's 5 main reasons why people buy stuff from us, okay? And they can choose to either buy it from us or they're going to go out and buy it somewhere else, and that's been proven when you look at the sales related to all the big box retailers across the country, right? I mean, if we don't talk to them about it on our service calls or on our sales calls or while we have them on the phone, I can guarantee you this, somebody else is going to talk to them and they're going to invest some money if it has an impact in these 5 key areas. So these are the 5 areas you need to focus on, okay? So 5 reasons people buy, okay? And this is really geared towards the HVAC industry, okay? So the first reason why people are going to invest money into our services, our products, and the things that we offer in our industry is because we can increase their comfort. Meaning, we can make them more comfortable in their own home than what they were before. And this is something that we just take for granted, but people have been living in their houses for years and years and years, and there's always a room or a section or a floor or whatever it may be that's not comfortable. And they just thought, and they've convinced themselves this is just the way this house is, and that is not the case. I mean, with the high quality skills that we have today in our industry, with all of the NATE certifications and the BPI certifications and all the home performance stuff and everything else that we do. I mean, the airflow classes and the duct design classes and everything the ACCA and all the other associations bring together that put right in front of us on an annual basis, we have the skills, we have the knowledge that we can have such a positive impact on the comfort of somebody's home. And yet, it's something that we don't talk about all the time. And if we do talk about it, we always ask, hey, are there any rooms in the house that are hotter in summertime, colder in wintertime? Or we might change that question up and say, oh, well, which rooms in the house in the summertime are hotter versus which ones are colder? And people have built-in defense systems when it comes to salespeople or service technicians if they feel like somebody's trying to sell them something or is trying to promote something. And so a lot of times people aren't always honest with us, and so I would encourage you to find different ways to ask that question, or better yet, earn the right to ask about comfort questions. And you can do that by thoroughly inspecting not only the system itself, but also by the ductwork and the duct layout, and applying the skills and the knowledge you already have and you've already learned. You can identify areas that are probably a challenge in that customer's home and specifically ask them about those challenges and avoid the questions that so many people in our business overuse, I should say, but we all use the same darn questions. So mix it up, make it different, be the expert. So earn the right to ask about comfort questions. Don't use a questionnaire, don't interrogate the customer. Have a conversation, a real good conversation, get on their same level, get that trust, figure out exactly what's going on in that house, and then show the customer how you can have a positive impact on their comfort, and they're more apt to spend the money or to invest in you and your company as well as your recommendations. So the first most powerful way, the reasons why people buy is to increase comfort. Number 2, to reduce dust levels in the home. Now we call this IAQ in our industry, and we like to use that word, but our customers don't know what IAQ is, so I'm going to encourage you to talk in terms the customer knows. IAQ, just talk dust, talk pollen, talk viruses, talk bacteria, talk things that they know. But if we can reduce the dust in somebody's house, we can improve the quality of air that them and their family breathe. People are interested in that. I mean, let's face it, if you've got kids at home or if your customers got kids at home, when's the last time that you have pinched pennies to give your kids second best or not even address their needs at all? I mean, we just don't do that. People don't do that. So if you can tie and you can relate the quality of air that them and their family are breathing to some solutions or some recommendations that are going to have an impact on the dust levels, the pollens, the pet dander, the bacteria, the viruses, all of that type of stuff, and ensure that their family is going to breathe healthier, cleaner air, well, who wouldn't invest in that? But again, when we just talk about IAQ or air cleaners, again, customers don't make that correlation. We assume too much. We think that the customer is on the same page with us, and they're really not. So we have to talk on their terms. The third area that we're going to want to focus on is we want to be able to show the customer, and if we can do this successfully, they will invest additional money into our services and products, is if we can increase the health as well as the safety of their house. I mean, health and safety is a big, big thing today, right? In our industry, and the things that we do with gas furnaces and electrical connections and all of this stuff, I mean, we have to make sure that these systems are running safely for the occupants of that home. And we need to make sure that that environment is the healthiest environment possible and the safest environment possible. And again, customers don't always realize what it is that we can do to have a positive impact. I mean, let me just ask you, do you promote CO monitoring? I mean, and I'm not talking the monitors that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's, the big box retailers that cost, $24, $25, $60 that don't sound until 70 parts per million after 4 hours of exposure to get the UL listing. I'm talking about good, high quality carbon monoxide monitoring systems that will give people an audible or a visual alarm at a very, very low level, much lower than 70 parts per million. If you're not promoting that, if you're not educating customers on that, well, you're really missing a huge, huge part of our business. And area number four is people want to reduce their utility costs, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if we can save you some money on your electrical bill or on your gas bill, that's a good thing. People are pretty jacked up about that, but we lead with this in our industry. This is what we always put out there first. All the manufacturers' brochures talk about efficiency and SEER and EAR and AFUE and all of these things. And really, again, we're not talking to the customer on their terms, we're talking to the customer on our terms, and it's not about us, it's about them. So when we talk about utility savings, we have to keep this in perspective, and we also have to realize it is not number one on the list. It's down here at number 4. So don't lead with this. This should be a cherry on top. This should be, one of those, by the way, you can also say reduce your energy costs or your energy consumption when you upgrade your system, or you do this recommendation or that recommendation or whatever it may be. It's a cherry on top, okay? Unless the customer's paying, unless the customer is truly, truly, truly focused on absorbent, utility costs, it's not going to be their number one focus. And again, everybody always talks about utility savings, utility savings, utility savings, everybody in our industry, and that's just, we have to shift that focus. You got to be different. Okay, and the fifth and final area that we're going to talk about that we want to be able to identify is we want to be able to reduce noise, right? People are very sensitive today on noise levels in their home. I mean, they don't want that compressor on the side of their house just screaming, right? People are entertaining inside their homes, they're entertaining in their backyards and on their properties. They don't want to be able to hear this. And heck, today there's no need there's no need to even hear an air conditioner run. They're so quiet nowadays that you don't even need to listen to them at all. Or we could relocate them, we can move them, we can do a lot of things. But again, if we don't understand that this is a sensitive area for the customer, then we're just leaving that, that opportunity untapped. We're not going down that path. So these are the 5 reasons that you should focus on every service call, every encounter with the customer. Your job is to identify what are their top 2 pains, what are their top 2 needs, what are their top 2 focuses, and when you can do that, you gear your call, you gear your presentation, you gear that service call or your findings, everything that you found out about that system or about that house, you tie it into those top 2 pains, and it should be 2 of these. Okay? And if it is, you can create that need, you can create that desire, you can create that want, and you can even create some urgency along the way once they have the trust in you that you can have a positive impact on that. So this is real, real important. Focus on this. I mean, if you have any questions, I would be happy to help you. I mean, you can reach out to us through our website at www.success4others.com. We would be happy to assist you any way possible. But this is the reason why people buy. This is your job, is to identify where the customer needs some assistance in which one of these areas. What's the top hot button, or if you will, or what's the top priority for them versus what's the bottom priority for them. Put these in order and then gear your your presentation, gear your service call around those needs, wants, and desires, and you will see a huge increase in not only your success rate in your average tickets, but in your customer satisfaction, which leads to customer loyalty, which is the most important thing in today's business. So again, Michael Goder with Success for Others. If you have any questions, reach out to us. If you haven't connected with us already on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, of course do that now so that we can stay in contact and you can continue to see a lot of these great videos. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tuning in.